Alrighty. Welcome back. This is episode 7 of the You Should Fact Check This podcast. Peter, let's just jump right on into it. What is your bold statement of the day?
I'm not doing a statement. It's more of like a bewilderment question.
Okay.
So I just got back from a run. Okay. And I'm so energized that it just brings me back to my main point of my life. I think that's going to be my motto. Why do people not exercise?
Because it's hard.
No, it's not.
It is hard.
It's not.
Peter, it's hard when you haven't done it.
It's not. Just go for a walk.
Right. I understand.
Okay. And then I want to buddy that question. Okay. Why don't people go outside?
Because it's easier to stay inside.
Well, why are people lazy?
There's the root of the question. Right? That hits the root of both of the questions is why are people lazy? And I'm in agreement with you.
Okay, why are people lazy?
Yeah, why are people lazy? And I'm sure that there is a multitude of reasons that people are lazy.
Yeah, I mean,
like, why are you lazy?
They're lazy.
Like, why are you lazy?
I'm not lazy.
Well, in what aspects of your life are you lazy? There are some. Do you have underwear on your floor?
Yeah.
So there we go. So
I guess if
like everyone,
yeah, I guess places where I don't spend a lot of time, I suppose I'm lazy in.
I mean, yeah. So what I'm trying to get at is everybody has an area where they're lazy or they're slacking, right?
But I don't understand why you would spend time picking up your room if you're not going to pick up your life.
Well, this goes to Jordan Peterson's. I mean, have you heard Jordan Peterson? Okay. No. So Jordan Peterson is a psychologist. He's from Canada. Super well researched. And I'm pretty sure he's a PhD, but his whole thing is like clean up your room. Because if your house is in disarray, then you have no reason to go out and tell other people how to run their life.
See, I disagree with that.
Why?
Because.
Well, have some backing, because I just gave you some.
Because I don't know. I feel like
you have to take control of the smallest thing first. So that's the whole thing behind make your bed.
I don't make my bed.
Right. And you should. If you made your bed every day, you would feel better.
No.
You would.
Why?
I've been doing it. I promise you.
No,
you will.
It'd be a waste of time.
It takes 45 seconds.
It'd be a waste of time.
Well, let's look at your phone usage.
It's actually not that high.
I'm sure it's not that high, but I guess I'm guessing you could spare 45 seconds.
I mean, probably.
Yeah.
But then you're going into the thing of like how much like if you're worried see, that's the thing about that kind of stuff is like, would it bring you disappointment or would it make your day worse if you didn't make your bed because you've been making your bed?
Yeah, it should.
Well, why? Why would you do something that like
because you feel like
isn't a massive impact on your life, but would bring you disappointment if you didn't do that thing?
Okay. Peter, we went to the same place for college and we played on the same team.
We did?
We did. For those that don't know, we did. And the main takeaway from that experience that I think I agreed with the most was it's the details that matter.
I completely agree. Same. Yeah.
Right. And we can see that in a lot of the kids that brought our team down, the details didn't matter to them.
They didn't make their bed.
Right. Precisely.
I think it's a great metaphorical saying.
No, but physically doing it sets you up for the rest of the day.
What if you take a nap?
Then you remake it or you sleep on top of it. No one who in the day sleeps under their covers, like when they're taking a nap.
Yeah, no one. I don't know. Certainly not me. Certainly not people who like to be cozy while they sleep.
There's my bold statement of the day. No one takes naps under the covers.
I literally debunked your bold statement with two seconds.
Yes. But it's
okay. So what else does he say? Make your bed. What else?
Well, I was
drink
just
your coffee.
No, he doesn't say drink some coffee. I was just going off of what you were talking about, saying that to be, what was I saying?
Who's to say, like, metaphorically making my bed means to exercise?
Metaphorically? What are you talking about?
Like, metaphorically,
it's not about making you work out.
No, I know. But, like, what if the term making your bed means different for multiple people?
Yeah, it does mean different things for different people. But it's the act of taking control of one thing that you can control. You can get up in the morning and you can make your bed. And then you could leave your house and you could be in a fucking war zone, right? And it still wouldn't matter, but you made your bed and you're organized mentally.
What's to say what if making your bed doesn't organize you mentally? What if it just makes you frustrated because it's just wasted time?
Well, then you're looking at it in the wrong way. Because
but here's what I say. So that's what I say, like metaphorically speaking.
You keep saying metaphorically, and I'm not sure that it's in the correct context, but I could be wrong.
Okay, hypothetically,
okay,
people use the term "make your bed" for the one thing you can control, right? So what's to say that exercising isn't the one thing you can control? So for me, I do make my bed by exercising.
That's not what I'm saying.
No, I know.
Right.
I know that's not what you're saying.
Yes.
But I'm saying.
No, but the difference.
I don't make my literal bed, but I make my bed.
No, but if you made your bed, if you made just your bed, you would hold yourself accountable for more things, even more things. So since you're doing good, right? Medically, physically, medically. I hope you're doing good medically.
Actually, I don't know if I'm doing. I don't know.
Mentally,
actually. I got a blood test done.
You're feeling good. You're doing well, right? If you add in making your bed, you will just hold yourself accountable even more for those little things.
Interesting. I don't know. We'll see. I'll start doing it. We'll see.
I believe that that's the idea. I could, again, fact check it. I could be wrong.
I literally have one blanket, so.
So it should be easy.
How to make that.
Like you're literally, that would be doing the bare minimum for cleaning up your room is making your bed.
Right.
Because I can tell by the way that you're looking at your room that it's in disarray.
It's not in disarray.
It's probably bad.
No, I just organized and cleaned it this last weekend. Okay,
so it was really bad.
It just had clothes on the ground. That's my biggest thing is clothes on, because the laundry basket's in the bathroom. So like when you take off your clothes, you're not going to go out and put it in the laundry basket.
Why don't you just move the laundry basket?
I don't know. And then like I rewear a lot of my clothes.
I do too, but I hang them up or fold them up again.
Really? I don't. I just throw them on the chair.
I do that occasionally. And then I'm always disappointed when I grab them. I'm like, I should have hung this up.
Well, then you should do more things in life that disappoint you. I had
Peter.
There's this guy at the gym.
What are you talking to?
You ready? Hey, you ready for this? There's this guy at the gym. He's a doctor. He's an ER doctor, actually, and he's a super fit individual. And he was saying that on his 40th birthday a few years ago, he was in the middle of a 100-mile race, 100-mile running race, and he dropped out at mile 72.
That's tough.
And he said he was just so disappointed in himself.
Yeah,
and he hasn't raced since. because he's like, why would I do things? Why would I train and stay fit and then go out and do something just to disappoint myself? So you shouldn't do things that disappoint you.
No,
if you don't achieve
I
them.
think that's just a weak fucking mentality.
If you met this guy, you would not say it's a weak mentality.
No, saying that I'm not going to do it again because I failed the first time is a weak mentality.
No, he didn't say it because he failed. He said it because he was disappointed in himself.
Which is a failure.
Mind that he failed.
Right.
No, I think failure and disappointment are two different feelings.
Not really. I mean, you can be disappointed
100%.
in someone.
Well, yeah, but you can be disappointed in yourself.
Right.
They're
for
not synonymous.
Achieving what you wanted to. Therefore failing.
No. They can just be, they don't have to be synonymous.
Right. But if you're talking about yourself.
Yeah. I could be disappointed
and we're talking about a race, right? So the overall goal of the race was to finish.
I'm assuming.
Right?
Yeah.
So if he doesn't finish and then he's disappointed, what would he be disappointed about?
But if you don't finish on an extrinsic factor and you're still disappointed.
Use a different word. I don't know that context of that word.
In an external factor, so something you can't control, like say he pulled his hamstring. I don't know what happened. I don't know why he dropped out. But say you're running and you pull your hamstring, then and you're disappointed.
Your body failed.
That's not. Yeah, but come on.
Seriously, that's just a weak mentality.
So why? So no. So why would you be disappointed in something that you can't control? Why would you do something?
You're disappointed that you didn't get your body prepped well enough for the race.
Well, he did.
Okay, well, if his hamstring failed, then maybe he didn't.
Well, I didn't know if his hamstring.
Right. What I'm saying in the context of what you're saying, right?
Right.
I think that he's disappointed because he didn't finish the race.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what else you would be disappointed about. I don't know why. Like, why would you walk off the race and be like, I'm disappointed that my mental state I wasn't in Fiji, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why he did it.
And then choosing after that to say that I'm not going to do it again because I don't want to be disappointed again. That's inherently a weak mentality. And he can be hard. He can be a hard dude and still have a weak mentality around that. Running is fucking difficult, especially 100-mile race is so hard.
Yeah, it's not easy.
But if he trained for it and then failed the first time and then decides he doesn't want to do it again because he doesn't want to get disappointed again, that's a weak mentality. He failed and he let the failure win.
Maybe.
Is this going to be one of those points that we just don't agree on?
Probably.
Because you don't have any backing on the other side of it.
I have emotional backing.
I know. And dude, I agree. This guy could be hard as nails. Right?
Yeah, I mean, disappointment looks a lot different to a lot of people as well, though. Like,
no, I get that. I totally understand that in context. But
disappointment can last for like months on something like that.
Yeah.
So it's a completely valid thing to say of like.
No, I'm not saying that he shouldn't be disappointed. I'm not saying that.
No. I know. I just don't think that. I don't think it's a weak mentality by recognize. I think it's almost a strong mentality to recognize that, okay, I was disappointed for half a year. So is that the healthiest thing for me?
Okay. So you're talking about the back end. You're not even talking about the actual race. I just think that he's not looking at it in the correct context. Right?
I mean, maybe, but I also think that the self-reflection could also reflect that he is hard.
No, yeah, no, I agree. But if
you look at it from the front end, then yeah, it's a weak mentality. But on the back end, if you look at what went into the decision of no longer competing because of his
right, but the way you're saying he phrased it.
Yeah, I mean, it was in the middle of a workout and like 30
I
seconds
understand,
of
but I'm
rest, so
taking it at
brief.
face value, Peter. I don't know this guy. I'm taking it at face value. I'm saying if you're saying I'm not going to do it again because I don't want to be disappointed, that's a weak mentality.
He didn't say he doesn't want to do it again. He said he doesn't compete.
Oh, okay. Well, then I got lost in translation. And
yeah. What up, Devon?
Oh, Peter, don't even do that. I trounced on your whole idea.
My idea? What do you mean?
Your whole argument. I trounced on it.
What do you mean? I didn't even have an argument.
Did. You said it's not a weak mentality.
I was just trying.
Because it is, dude.
Move on. What's your bold statement of the day?
I don't have one.
Dude, you gotta get one. You gotta come up with one. I'll just keep talking until you have one. I'll do our sponsors. What do you think? Brought to you by Slate Dark Chocolate Milk, Ultra Filtered Milk.
I think that...
also brought to you by Montana Fit, Gym in Montana, Missoula, Montana. Lastly, brought to you by...
Can you stop giving out
Fort
free
Lewis.
Sponsorships to our
Fort Lewis College?
No, dude.
Oh, and the patio at Rattlesnake Market, Missoula,
I like
Montana.
how you shouted out your parents' place last.
Those are our sponsors. Thank you for listening. All right, Devon, do you have a bold comment?
I did, but I think I lost it. Oh, the student loan. Jesus Christ, my lights are freaking out. The student loan crisis is going to be the next bubble that bursts.
You think they're going to get rid of it?
No, I think that we're going to get to a point where there's so many people that are failing to pay back their student loans that the whole thing crumbles. And that pushes us even deeper into a recession.
I don't know much on this. I am a firm believer that if you have student loans, that is your own fault.
Okay, I somewhat agree with you.
So pay them back. But
Peter, did you pay for your schooling?
No.
Right. When you were 18, did you think that did you understand student loans?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, I took one out. And my parents made sure I understand before I took one out.
Okay. Well, then you have fantastic parents, Peter. A lot of the people that are taking out student loans have no idea what it fucking means because they're taking them out when they're 17 and 18 and they don't have good parents.
So let's turn this back. Is that the high school's problem? Yes. Should it be part of the high school's curriculum?
I agree.
Yes.
I agree. But saying that it's all their fault is wrong.
I still believe it's pretty much their fault. If you're taking out, you know what a loan is.
No, dude, people don't understand the context of a loan when you're 17 and 18. People do not understand.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't, Peter. People have no idea what that means.
Stupid people. Then they're just stupid
people. That's not true, Peter. You should be grateful as shit that your parents explained to you what a fucking loan is. Most people don't understand what a goddamn loan is when they're 17 and 18.
Before you take out a loan, you literally have to sign a paper that says this is what a loan is.
Peter, how many times have you read the terms and conditions of Twitter?
Well, maybe they should read it.
How many times have you read the terms and conditions of Twitter?
Oh, I've never read it.
Exactly. It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah,
kids look at that, they say, I'm getting money to go to college. They don't think about the long-term context of it because they didn't have someone there explaining it to them.
Okay, well then...
Your viewpoint on this is an extremely privileged viewpoint of someone who only took out one student loan and then their parents were able to afford to pay for the rest of it and you got some aid.
My parents did not pay for it. But
okay, you got aid.
No.
Right?
And
in terms of scholarship or whatever it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
and didn't have to pay for the rest of it.
Yeah.
Other people had no aid.
Yeah.
Didn't understand the terms.
I'm just saying.
The contract.
They should have.
What it means because it wasn't explained to them. They should have, but I don't think it's on them for not knowing that.
I think it's 98% their fault.
No, that's
as low as I'll go.
Terrible.
That's as low as I'll go.
That's a horrible argument.
That's
the most privileged goddamn argument I've ever heard.
I don't care. That's as low as I go. Literally every single person I know of who took out a loan understand what a loan is.
I didn't.
I've never met them. Why not?
Because I didn't think about it, Peter. I was going to school. I was playing soccer. I was thinking about, what am I going to, I was thinking personally about how I was going to build a business. I never once thought, I've got this looming debt of $60,000 once I get out of college.
You have $60,000 of student debt?
Yes, Peter.
Damn.
I didn't get any fucking financial aid from soccer or sport aid, whatever.
Really?
No. This is what happens when you're a failed college athlete. They should do documentaries about failed college athletes.
They really should. Oh, man. That's brutal.
Yeah. And there's...
Are you paid off yet?
No, Peter. I'm not paid off. I don't make that much money right now.
Didn't you have WUI?
I did have WUI. I also took out student loans for stupid reasons.
Oh yeah, you bought a camera.
Well, also there's a lot of other things that you don't know about the reasons we had to take out student loans.
Well, I don't need to know either.
But
yeah, I mean,
as simple as that, I didn't really understand what a fucking loan was.
Gotcha.
Right?
Interesting. Yeah, that actually surprises me because I would have thought that you were going to. Well, I think if you had the mindset and mentality that you do now as an 18-year-old, you would have understood because you would have educated yourself before you took out a contractual obligation from the government.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That was my exact argument, is that when you're 17 and 18, you're not mature enough. No, that is not what you said. You said it's their fault. I said 17 and 18-year-olds do not understand.
I'm saying they don't, but they should.
Also, 95, even me, who's someone who, shut your ass. That is so annoying. Even me, who had no intentions of going to college to party and do other shit. That is okay. Okay. All right. Peter's going to freaking defame me or whatever I don't even know what the word is. I'm so pissed off right now. No, I just think that your argument is so invalid that it hurts. I mean, someone looking back saying, "Oh yeah, no, I didn't have to take out any. I took out one student loan that wasn't even that much. because I knew the fucking terms." That's bullshit.
Not what I said at all.
That's what you said in a white girl's voice. That's what you said in a white girl's voice.
Oh, that's not what I said.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it's not.
No, but it is because you're saying it now, looking back.
I would have had to take out student loans. But my grandma invested my grandpa's life insurance, and so she paid for all of her grandchildren to go to school.
Well, that's baller as shit. And I respect the hell out of that. But not everybody has a balling ass grandma.
She's the one listening to this podcast, so shut up. No,
right? I mean, my family didn't have any money to pay for college.
Right. And a lot of people don't. However, that's where I think that, okay, I'll go to 80%. 80% is their fault.
I'll give you fucking 50. Okay. I'll give you 50%.
I'll take 60 and I'll
50
walk.
Is generous, dude.
I'll take 60 and I'll walk.
What are you walking with? What are you walking with? Your stupid ass idea?
But come on.
It sucks. I agree. I mean, there should be
what do you literally know the definition of a term loan? You have to pay it back.
Yes. But also people, I mean, when did you know that you couldn't, if you went bankrupt, your student loans still stay with you? Did you know that?
Yeah, I just found, no, yeah, I knew that. And then when you retire and you haven't paid them off yet, it
comes out of your social security. Social security, right?
Right. No, I knew that probably 2 years ago.
Right. So not even when you took out your student loan.
No. Right.
So most people, I bet there's still people out there that have student loans and are out of college that don't even know that if they go bankrupt, they still will have those loans. Probably. I mean, it's the most corrupt fucking financing.
I also think there's ways.
I mean, just think about this for a second. Think about this for a second. Think about this for a second. Okay. We've got 17 and 18-year-olds taking out hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans who have never taken out a loan before. They have zero credit history. Why the hell are we giving out loans to these kids? If I wanted to go out and get a mortgage for a home,
they make money off of it.
They don't.
That's a stupid question.
It's easy. Don't. You don't make money off of your student loans. You do not.
No. The banks do.
Yes, right.
The government
That's
does.
what I'm saying.
That's what.
But it's all.
You asked why are we giving out
the government does not
loans?
make money off of it.
Well, the people giving out the loans do.
Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, all of those loaners.
Yeah, they make a ton of money.
But the only reason they're able to do that is because they're all backed by the government. Every time someone fails to pay it, the government fills in for it.
Yeah.
Which is retarded. It's so dumb.
We're educated. We're an educated society.
We're not, dude. We're a woke, belligerent, moronic society. Dude, those were good words.
I did so well right there. Okay, here's why. Okay, will you let me hear my point now?
Yeah, you can hear it all you want.
Will you listen to my point now? Okay. I'll go down to 60%, and here's why. I do the 40%, which is probably the biggest part. I will give you that, is that there is no education on it. So I do think it needs to be in high schools or a mandatory class at some point, right? However, that is still not foolproof because how much do you remember from high school?
I was a moron in high school.
Zero.
I know nothing.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. So even if it was a high school class, then.
But that's not to say that you wouldn't have understood it better.
I mean, yeah, for sure. And that's why I'm saying it needs to be a high school class. But I'm also saying that doesn't fix the issue. Therefore, I think that, like, honestly.
I know how we fix the issue.
Well, that's not part of my reasoning, and I'm still talking. So, also, like, I hate, and I know you're not one of them because you played soccer, and
I am one of them a little bit. I'm one of them.
I am fed up with the people asking for student loan to be resolved or whatever, and they go out of state, and they go.
I'm not one of them.
To these crazy universities out of state, don't even try for financial aid in terms of scholarships for grades. They have shit grades. All they do is party, get a shit degree, don't have a good job, and now they're like, oh, I'll pay my student loans because I can't pay them. It's like, no. If you wanted to do that, could have gone to an in-state school. In-state schools are cheap.
Oh, so I mean, if you're in New Mexico, if you go to any school in the state, it's free.
Cheap.
It's free in New Mexico.
Cheap. Yeah.
If you're from New Mexico, you go to a New Mexico school, it's free.
That's why I think the argument of, oh, kids won't be able to go to school is absolute shit. Because if you want to go to college and you want to further your education without taking out a loan, it is very doable.
I mean, also the whole idea that college is the only way is so stupid. Broken.
Yeah, I mean, also, yeah. I mean, it's all money. It's all money, mate. It's literally a business.
Yeah,
it's all money.
It's just about money.
And so now that's why graduate schools are such heavily favored. You can't get a good job without graduate school now. And because of money,
that's not even true.
Who didn't
that's not true.
It's very true.
Well, it depends on what field you're in.
In business, you have to have.
No, you don't.
Actually, yeah, I actually saw this thing that MBAs are actually shit in business.
Yeah, they're terrible. People don't want people that have only gone to school. They want people who have run businesses.
Right. Yeah. But like in terms of like my degree, for instance, can't do much with an exercise physiology just straight up. You either got to go grad school for PT, or you got to go athletic training, or you got to go masters in blank. It can't just be like a straight up bachelor's.
Well, so there are some fields,
nursing, doctors.
Well, absolutely. There are fields where you 100% should have to go to school to learn all of the stuff. Right?
Well, yes.
Business,
yes,
which I'm sure is probably one of the largest degrees in the nation.
It's also the degree that everyone gets when they go out of school or out of state and just party.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, continue.
It is such a bullshit degree.
It doesn't do anything.
You learn very little.
Yeah.
And for paying how much you do, it's not worth it.
That's why I'm saying it's stupid. And it's like these people who go to Harvard come out with a gender studies degree and they're working for a nonprofit and they have 6 figures of student debt, and then all they're doing is crying to have the student debt relieved. It's like, well, maybe you shouldn't have gone to Harvard, and if you did go to Harvard, get a statistics degree instead of gender studies, or don't work for a nonprofit. Like,
yeah,
you could save the world.
I mean, people that work for nonprofits should, and
they make money.
Likely do get paid pretty well, unless you're lower level.
But you're usually lower level.
Right, but everybody's usually lower level when you start. The whole problem is people.
That's another thing.
People get into these businesses. They're like, if you drop out of high school and you want to work for a nonprofit, or if you graduate high school and want to work for a nonprofit, you can go over there, start working for the nonprofit right away. They'll give you a job most likely, and you can work your way up. You'll probably be 4 years ahead of the person who goes to college and then tries to get in.
At the gym right now, I mean, we have the owner, and then the girl ahead of me, she didn't go to college.
Because she's smarter than you.
Doing
Peter.
the same exact, probably.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much broken around just schooling in general. I mean, the main.
But back to the original point, student debt is the students 70% of their fault. I'll go to 70.
You're just being an asshole now.
I'm getting I didn't realize this was such a sensitive topic with you. I would have gone.
I don't even know what the percentage. I don't even know what the percentage work. Like, how does that even work? It's 70% your fault. That's just.
I would have gone bonkers with you in person if I knew this was such a sensitive subject.
No, I think this is probably one of your worst takes.
What do you mean?
No, yeah.
Just because you're emotionally charged by it doesn't mean it's a bad. I'm
not even that emotionally charged by it, honestly.
If you objectively listen to my points,
I know I'm going to pay mine back, and I'm going to make a lot of money over it. So I'm not worried about mine. But I also think that your thought that kids when they're 17 and 18 should understand what a student loan is fucking ludicrous.
That's a big word.
Yeah, dude.
I think that they should understand that they are taking a contractual loan from the government.
Should and do are two different words, Peter. Right? And should means that, I mean, how much research do you do, Peter?
Pretty little.
Right. How much research did you do when you were 17 or 18? And I know a little bit about your 17 and 18-year-old years.
I did research on beer cans.
Right.
And where to party without the cops getting called.
To think that someone will go
Point.
out of their way to understand what a student loan is when all they want to do is go to college because it's the thing to do and party and try and get a good degree.
Was your high school not good?
My high school was good.
Did they not teach you like any of this stuff though?
Very, very little. I mean, almost, I don't think anything about loans.
Dude, we had mandatory senior class like meetings about loans.
Peter, that's because you live in a state of 14 people.
I mean, how big was your graduating class?
66.
Yeah, mine was 1,200. And we had mandatory auditorium meetings with our principal.
Are you a Republican state or a Democrat state?
Republican.
I think that might have a little bit to do with it, personally.
Well, then live in a Republican state.
All right, Peter. Yeah, if I could just get up and move, I might, you know? But shit, I've got student loans to deal with now. I got no money.
How many times were you handed a flyer in class about counseling for college or student aid meetings and you just threw it away?
How many times did you? If those meetings weren't mandatory.
Towards the end of senior year, once a week we got a new flyer about student aid and
I think we may have gotten one.
Did you throw it away?
No, dude, I probably went to it. There were 66 kids in my class.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that they actually like, although there's no class based on it, they have the resources. Kids just don't use them. And that's why I think it's their fault. They don't try and learn about it.
Okay, you can say it's their fault. But if they're a fucking kid, that's like saying,
I went.
Peter, that's great. You still took out a student loan.
Yeah.
But you had the means to have someone else pay for your college, Peter.
Yeah, and I know I'm lucky. And I know I'm one of few.
I just don't even understand your argument anymore. Because even you who fucking went to these goddamn things and understood a fucking loan before college still took out a loan and got it all paid for. Your school. If you hadn't got it paid for, you'd be sitting in debt like me, dog.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe not.
Maybe
you would have made a better decision, right?
Maybe I would have made a better decision. Also, I would have been more competitive. Is that the word? I don't know. More competitive in getting aid.
Right. Which is something that I didn't do, and I take fault for that, for sure. I didn't sign up.
70%.
No, dude, I don't take 70%. Actually,
you didn't get any financial aid for.
I personally will take 100%. Personally, because it's me.
Good.
Right? Because I fucking believe in extreme ownership. Huh?
Yeah, okay. Make your bed, whatever. Did you get...
Dude, if we were together right now, I would slit your throat.
Whoa.
Oh, it's getting taken off of YouTube.
It probably will now. Did you get any financial aid for education?
Mm-hmm. But you want to hear something funny? I pretty much probably would have gone to school for free had I studied a little bit harder and gotten a few points higher on my SAT or ACT.
Sounds like you should have done that.
I should have, but I was 16, hated 4-hour tests, and wanted to go hang out with my buddies. Right?
I think standardized tests are ridiculous.
And we went over that last time.
We've been over that. Yeah.
Because Peter failed his standardized test. Maybe he should have studied a little bit more.
I definitely should have, and I took complete ownership of that.
No, you didn't. You said standardized tests are bullshit.
Well, they are. I was emotionally charged. But now I'm taking a new one, and I'm studying a little bit more.
Okay.
Hopefully I don't fail that one, or else I'm just a complete failure. Yeah, I don't know. I I have a hard time with the student loan conversation.
I have a hard time with the student loan conversation
Also,
as well. I'm not.
If they do get rid of student loan, they should wait like 5 years to when I and my are we mentioning girlfriends' names on here?
No, let's not for right now.
Okay. Mine and my girlfriend are getting done with grad school and everything. So they should give us like a 5-year like heads up.
Be like, hey, go take out student loans for the next 5 years. We'll pay them back.
Yeah. Well, yeah, a little winky face. That'd be great.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Does your girlfriend have student loans?
Does yours?
Yeah. Just a little bit though.
Right. So.
And she was in state.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. But she also understood what they were when she took them out. So, I mean.
Great. Katie was very mature for her age. All right.
All right.
There are anomalies, Peter. I understand.
Just so happens you're sitting with one.
You?
I'm joking. Don't tear me apart for that. Don't tear me apart.
Okay. Let's get into sports first. Come on. Tell me about some sports. March Madness is happening. What's going on?
March Madness is happening. It starts this week. Tom Brady unretired.
He did unretire. What do you think happened in that conversation with him and Ronaldo? Because he knew already.
Dude, I don't know.
He knew already that he was going to come out of retirement.
For sure. I saw a video of like Ronaldo asking him like, you're actually done? And Tom Brady was like, we'll see. Yeah. And then I also read something that LeBron texted him, but I don't know if those are good sources.
My whole thing is I wish these guys would just know when to quit.
I mean, it's tough because he was second in MVP votes this year.
I know. He's so good.
It's not like he's it's not like he's declining.
I'm not saying he is. That good. I'm not saying. But to get out when you are the fucking man is
at 40,
baller.
At 44.
Yeah. I won 7.
I just hope he doesn't get like hurt or something, and then it's like, you should have retired.
Right. Or even just has a shit season.
Like, especially with football, though, it's like, get out while you're healthy.
Yeah, dude, there's no reason. He's the most decorated football player of all time. Right?
Besides Air Bud, I think he's got it, yeah.
What? Is that an actual person or is that a dog?
Dog.
Okay, good.
Have you never seen the Air Buds? I've seen the Air
Buds, but I don't know. Sometimes people give themselves funny names.
Yeah, Air Buds the movie.
Right.
And Little Buddies and
so I don't get why he would come back. You have kids. Hang out with your kids.
Yeah.
Like be a dude.
Some people are so deep in that as their identity, though they don't know how to live without it.
Ugh, that's so like upsetting because if you can get out when you're on top, that's
so easy for us to say.
Oh, I know, because I've never been on top.
He's been playing for 24 years.
Oh, I get it.
In the NFL.
I get it. And I've never been good at anything.
No, you don't. You're not. You're barely even 20.
No, what I'm saying is I get that I don't understand it.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. You don't.
I don't understand it because I've never been good at anything to that point.
That's not true.
You know what I mean?
You were great at smashing pumpkins with your head.
But there are people that are better.
Mm-hmm.
There was no one better than him so far.
Yeah.
Right?
So far, no.
But now all we can do is watch him decline.
Maybe. That's what we said about LeBron, too.
Yeah, well, that's true. But I think anyone stays in long enough, you're going to watch them shit the bed. When does LeBron's son get into the NBA?
I think he's a sophomore in high school, so 2 more years.
Oh, my God. That man has to play for 3 more years?
Yeah, but, I mean, he's still averaging 28.
I know. He just had 2, 50-point games.
Yeah, it's like...
I mean, I don't know. Dude, with all the science and everything, maybe you can play into your 50s now. Or you'll be able to play
Tom
into your 50s.
Brady's science is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I understand. And
Tom Brady doesn't look like he's 44.
Well, his forehead does.
Yeah, we want to talk about foreheads? Look at your
Yeah, dude,
forehead.
I got a solid forehead. It's great for smashing
You got a
pumpkins,
big
like
head.
I said. Or like you said.
You got a big nose,
I do have a large nose.
You're lucky your chin's covered up by that mic, too. Massive.
Yeah, I got a big chin. It's supposed to get surgery, but I'm scared.
Actually?
Yeah, my chin grew too far out and one side grew bigger than the other. So my jaw is like off axis.
Yeah.
So they're supposed to come in and cut out a sliver here and a sliver here and then push it back. But I really don't want to do that because my bite is messed up. So my teeth are eroding. So yeah, I'm going to get to 37 and not be able to eat.
That's brutal.
You know. Who needs teeth though? I'll just gum all my food.
That's basically it for sports though, in terms of.
So there hasn't
really
been
nothing
anything
until-
interesting leading up to March Madness? You haven't been paying attention. Don't act like you have.
Yeah, I mean, Duke lost. They've lost 2 in the last 4 games, so that's pretty interesting going into the
Is that
tournament.
where Coach K was or whatever?
Yeah. He lost his last home game, and then he just lost to Virginia Tech in the ACC tournament.
Are they just not good this year?
No, they were like number one in the nation for a while.
They just can't handle
They lost.
just can't handle the pressure of their coach leaving this season.
They must just not be able to handle the pressure. Period.
Right. How dominant have they been? Because
no one's really been that dominant in college basketball.
well, hasn't Villanova
'cause it all
won
comes
like
down-
5 of the last something? No? Okay. Well, this is why you're the sports guy.
Let's see. No one's super dominant because it's like it's a huge tournament at the end of the year. So like you could barely squeak in the tournament, and then if you hit like super good momentum and win 10 straight, then you're the national champion.
That's why it's so impossible. Like the perfect bracket is impossible.
I'm gonna do it this year.
No, you're not. And you're not going to win $2 million. You're not good. You're not good at these things, Peter.
So Baylor, Virginia, Villanova, North Carolina, Villanova. So I guess Villanova won 2 out of 3. Gonzaga's been the runner-up 2 of the last 4 years. Duke, UConn, Louisville, Kentucky, UConn, Duke, North Carolina, Kansas, Florida, North Carolina, Connecticut.
So Villanova hasn't even been in it.
Yeah, dude. Villanova
is
is 2 for 2.
In terms of what?
In the
tournament?
In terms of being in it and winning it. That's it.
Oh, they've been in the tournament twice and they've won it both times?
They've been in the final twice in the past 10 years and then won it twice. Okay. So 2016, 2018, they've won it. They've been in the final and won it.
I don't know. I think it's college basketball is interesting. Because there's always the argument that college basketball is better than professional basketball.
There's that argument just because they play defense,
right.
But any college basketball team up against an NBA team would just implode.
Really?
So, it wouldn't even be close. You could take the worst NBA team and put them up against the best college team, and the NBA team would win by 1,000.
Well, that's just because of there's such a concentration once it gets to professional, right?
Yeah, there's only 32 teams, about 14 player teams. There's only 200 and some NBA players.
Yeah, and there's thousands of college basketball players.
1% of all high school athletes make it to the college, and then 1% of those guys make it to the pros.
Damn. I'm part of that 99%. 99%, Peter. The 99% that failed.
Oh, yeah. So am I.
Yeah. Good work, Pete.
We did it.
Woo!
Woo.
Yeah. So that's all for sports. I'm really interested in seeing how Peyton Manning, that's not who it is. How Tom Brady does.
Peyton Manning's good too.
He's retired though.
He is.
Yeah.
I mean, NFL free agency is going on right now, but there's not really much. Oh, I guess Baker Mayfield. Him and the Browns are going separate ways.
Oh, really?
So that's interesting.
So did you ever pay attention to the whole Antonio Brown situation?
What about it?
Like what happened?
Why
because
he just left?
I mean, he's been notorious for not being someone that can fit on a team. Right? And then it seemed like it was working with, what team was he playing with?
The Bucs.
The Bucks. It seemed like he was doing pretty good.
He was.
And then one game he just literally ran off the field.
I bet he's got a good dose of CTE.
Right. I mean, I think that's probably been
I bet they all
from
do.
A young age. Because he's been so, I mean, impossible to hold down, right?
He's like a wild animal.
Someone's got to wrangle him.
Someone's got to wrangle him up.
I think that, yeah, I'm interested to see how the CTE progresses, like the information around CTE. And
they're saying it's bad in soccer players now.
Well, of course it is. I mean, the idea that I'm not going to have CTE is astounding.
I mean, you probably won't.
I probably will, Peter.
Doubt it.
I mean, do you paid attention to how much I hit my head on just random things, the ball?
But it was all like known that you're going to hit your head. It wasn't. You didn't have any random.
I mean, I never consciously knew that I had a concussion. I never was looked at for a concussion. Huh?
I definitely had one or two.
Right. I made it through my entire soccer career never thinking that I've ever had a concussion.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that's...
Katie's had like 5.
Yeah, I don't know how it's possible, really, because I would take shots harder than just about anybody.
Right.
I think it's my superior neck strength, if I'm being honest.
Probably not.
I mean, we used to have players. I do think that plays into it quite a bit because the rebound is what hurts it.
Yeah.
Like if you just hold still and the ball just bounces off of you, you're not going to get a concussion off of that, right? Because your brain's not bouncing around.
Not bouncing around.
Yeah. But if you're like some of the people that we used to play with, where the ball would hit them and their head goes like that.
Or they had it like this.
Like you're going to have some major brain problems.
Yeah, I don't. I know I definitely had one.
Like girls. Sure. That's why they say girls have more concussions than boys is because their neck isn't strong enough.
How many did Chuck have?
A couple. I mean, she had one that led into her tearing her ACL.
Yeah.
And that's like really common is girls get a concussion and then they get released from their concussion and then they tear their ACL.
Yeah. You know, also that it's going to be interesting with two guys talking about it real quick. But you know what also is not talked about enough that should be is menstrual cycles and women athletes.
I don't know any of the science behind this, but let's go for it. Studies
have shown that while they're on their period, I don't know the proper.
Yep, I think you got it right.
Proper term for that.
You got it right.
Yeah.
Or while they're menstruating.
While they're on their period. Yeah, that one. When they're menstruating, ovulating. No, when they're menstruating.
We might be completely wrong.
Yeah. When they're on their period, they are shown to have an increase of injury risk.
Isn't that because of some of the hormones involved?
Yes, because it increases your estrogen, I think, and decreases testosterone and all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
So, like when my girlfriend dislocated her ankle.
She was on her.
Yeah. And then JB was saying this too, was with like a bunch of, when he was the female coach at that community college, he would,
there you go.
Like track their menstrual cycles, like in an appropriate way. Obviously, I know that sounds really, but like that's the thing. That's the thing is like everyone cringes at that, like, ooh, how inappropriate. But like if it's to decrease injury and it's a humanly bodily function, I don't understand why it's a cringe thing.
I don't totally. I don't think it should be cringe. But you always hear about people that are like tracking the business 100%. People that are tracking the menstrual cycles of women, and they're like, "Oh, you must be on your period today, huh?"
Yeah,
is that why you're being such a bitch?
If you use it
right?
If you use it inappropriately, obviously that's stupid. But like, it is a literal human function.
Humanly function.
I don't understand why it's humanly function. I don't understand why it's not talked about / tracked / in sports as it should be.
Yeah.
Because there is shown to be an increased risk of tearing ACLs and major injuries while you're on your period.
There is a lot that's broken with all of these school, college, soccer, all of these systems, especially everywhere, because they're made by humans, and humans are intrinsically flawed. Right. So there's always going to be flaws in our systems that hopefully develop over time. I mean, how long have college sports been around? How long have women's college sports been around? Right?
Not long.
So to think that we would have it all right now, you're ignorant, Peter. Honestly, if I'm being honest, Peter's ignorant.
Where is this coming from?
Peter's ignorant because he thinks that we should have it all figured out. It's a joke, by the way. I think that the only way that we continue, like, we do need to continue talking about these and having conversations about how the menstrual cycles and how, maybe some people should do some neck workouts, to stop themselves from getting concussions. Maybe from a young age, headbutt a few walls. That's what I used to do.
Don't know about that.
Me neither, but I'm here. So, also my dad died of a hemorrhagic stroke, so you never know. And he was known for doing similar things. But these things need to be talked about so that the progression can happen.
This is what needs to be normalized. Actual science, not...
Yeah, because we're the scientists, dog. Listen to us. This is the science that needs to be listened to.
Well, what I was saying is that random shit that people think is important does not need to be normal. Important things need to be normal.
Yeah. And it's going to go through so many ebbs and flows. Like, we're going to have crazy
pronouns.
I'm with you. I was tiptoeing around it,
I said it. I hate them.
Yeah, there's... I think one of the most interesting things that I've heard is this writer, Glenn Greenwald, wrote a book. He's a gay man, and he wrote a book about transgender, like all of that, switching genders. He wrote about the social part of it, the psychology part of it. And then he also talked about how at the end of civilizations, there is an extreme focus on gender and how you don't want to be part of, like, there's people always in different gender camps now. People are fluid gender, all sorts of different stuff. All of this has a trend of showing up at the end of civilizations.
Are you saying that we're all going to die? Are you still on your nuclear war theory?
I'm not saying that we're going into nuclear war, but what I'm saying is it's an awkward trend that I don't like. I don't like seeing trends that are negative because trends tend to trend.
I don't know if it's a trend anymore or if social media has made it look like it's a trend.
No, it's definitely amplified.
Because like if you go out on your everyday day, go through your everyday day, how many people do you talk to that get mad at you for using the wrong pronouns?
I mean, no one.
Exactly.
But people also don't look me in the eyes. So,
well, that's your problem.
I'm scared.
I think in civilizations that maybe that happened to, I feel like it was way more prominent.
Well, it's also,
I feel like ever since COVID's over and all these riots had stopped and the parades and all these protests, people have actually gone back to working instead of having all this time on their hand to be like, you know what? I'm going to be a they today and I'm going to go protest the fact that I'm going to be a they today.
Well,
like when's the last time you heard not to bring up any sore subjects, but when's the last time you heard the term Black Lives Matter?
Not too long ago, a couple of days ago, but I listen to a lot of podcasts. Really? So,
I haven't heard that term.
I've heard it in context of talking about like kind of, because I've been doing some research about Marxism and different things like that.
It's weird.
Well, I'm trying to be a educated individual. Peter, I've done it, dog, and I'm working on it. Okay. I have no idea what I was talking about, but that's fantastic. I think Peter is probably wrong. I don't remember really what his argument was, but he's wrong.
Okay, but do you remember literally a year and a half ago, there was a new parade protest every damn day.
Oh yeah, no, people were bored.
In a different city.
People were bored
for Black Lives
Matter. And people
were
thinking about themselves too much.
Yeah.
Right? I think so much of this comes back to, if I'm a person who looks at people as equally, right? I know what I'm doing.
You don't.
I do. I look at people equally, except for me and you, because this is me. This is
above.
This is you.
Above.
Yeah, I am above you. You're above me in, the location based, like your latitude.
I'm above you in literally everything besides a few things.
Yeah, nice. So maybe we're even.
Probably not. I'm definitely.
All right. I'll take it. I like being a dark horse,
Not what that means. Underdog is
Underdog is what I meant.
There you go.
Dude, I'm just losing it today.
Yeah, I've carried this.
You have carried this podcast.
It's probably been the best podcast we've done.
You have to do it sometimes because I carry most of them. If we're being honest.
I think this is the best one because I've carried it.
It could be. It could be, Peter. You might be pretty good at this, and I might be terrible at it, which might mean that we will fail,
No, because I'll just continue to carry it. It's okay.
All right, sounds good. And, if we're being honest, it's only going to get good when you get here to Albuquerque.
So here's the end. Here's the weekly wrap up of the podcast. Hey, Peter moved to Albuquerque.
No, we're not wrapping up yet. I haven't even gone into any of my shit.
Oh, here we go. All right, let's hear it.
No, dude, I don't even want to tell you anymore.
Log off now, everyone. The excitement's over.
That's so upsetting. Yeah.
Let's hear it.
No,
Come on.
I don't want it anymore.
Devin, people are listening.
No one's listening, dude.
I'm listening.
Okay.
My grandma's listening.
Actually, breaking news today. Breaking news. The Fed has increased interest rates by 0.25%. Which,
How's that impact me?
how does it impact you? Money is more expensive.
Oh.
Right? So
Does that mean stocks will go up though?
no. It actually probably means the opposite. So there's
My ETF did a stock split. What's that mean?
your whole ETF. That means that they were either the price got too high or they felt like they needed more shares to be able to make it easier for people to afford.
Is that a good thing?
It can be. Yeah, definitely. It just opens up opens up the market to more people, because to buy one share will be less than it used to be.
Yeah, it went from like 120 to 56.
Yeah. So did you do a 2-for-1? Of course you did. Yes, you did a 2-for-1 stock split.
It did it automatically.
Right. I'm not saying you did it. I meant your shares split. So if you had
split.
2 shares, now you have 4 shares.
And I got some cash.
You got cash?
Yeah. I got like $5 in cash.
Okay, well then that means you have dividend stocks in your ETF, most likely.
Yeah, I do.
That's fantastic, Peter. How much do you have in your ETF?
How many stocks or how many money?
I don't care. Do you tell me which one you want to tell me?
14 shares.
Okay. So 14 times 56.
14.0835.
So 14 times 56. Peter.
I have $725.44.
That's pretty good. You got $5 off of that?
There's
Peter, don't share that with people. Stop that. Don't do that.
Actually? Why?
You just shouldn't share things like that.
Can you like erase that out?
No, I mean, it'll be fine. No one's going to do anything with it. But from now on, let's not share things like that.
There's no personal information.
Right.
Is there?
I don't think so, but I'm not a hacker, so I don't know.
Well, in 50 years, when this podcast gets popular and hackers come back and look at that, I'll be impressed.
Yeah, well, hopefully when it gets popular, we have some, life protection. We've got, got a little bit of protection going on.
Right.
Yeah, so the Fed increased interest rates, which just essentially means that money is harder to come by. You can't go out. Less people are going to go out and get loans because it's going to be more expensive to pay it back. Which means there's less investment, which means less people are making money off of those investments, which lowers people's salary because your loan turns into someone else's income. And if there's no loan, then there's no income. So your income's going to lower. So across the board, incomes will go down over time. And with a reduce in an income, your income turns into somebody else's income because you spend that money, which lowers their income because you're not spending as much. So it starts a cycle of a decline, which leads to a recession. This is why
we should just get another stimulus check.
Right. But then if you print too much money,
joking.
Right. I know, I understand, but that is what every administration ever has done in the past.
Stimulus check?
As soon as we run out of money, we print more money.
That doesn't make sense.
Right. To the point where, because no one wants to go through a recession, because no one wants to be the one that looks like things aren't doing well. Right.
It's just like a forest fire, though. Sometimes you need a forest fire to build up better grass.
Recessions are healthy for the economy, just like a forest fire is. You'll reset bubbles. You'll reset all sorts of different things. And it will, if you do it properly, you can have a really soft recession where it's not impacting too many people. And then we bounce back really quick and we find a medium and then we grow from there again. But the biggest thing is when you go into a recession, people lose their jobs because businesses make less money. So unemployment rates go up, and then spending goes down, which makes
Good thing there's DoorDash.
Right, but if people aren't spending as much money on food, then they won't be ordering DoorDash. So, and if we flood the market with DoorDash people, all those DoorDash people are going to make less money.
Too many DoorDash. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
So, recessions, it's a very tricky, the U.S. is in a very delicate spot right now because we are the reserve currency for the world, which is a fantastic position to be in because you have much more leverage. You can loan out money to other countries and make money off of that money. But the more we dilute our money, the less valuable it is to people. And the more we do that, the more liabilities we have as a country. And quite frankly, as a country, we're not going to be able to pay them back. And especially during a recession.
If we print more money, we will be able to.
No, because the money will be inherently less valuable. So
we should go back to barter.
No. The reason we have money is because it sets up an understanding of the costs and the equivalent costs of goods. So it makes it much easier to trade because you have a simple transactional value for everything. You can set the values of things simply. It gets really confusing when you're like, I want to trade this jacket for 14 sheep. Like no one understands what the value is.
That's up to the buyer and seller.
Right, totally. But if you're trying to set market prices, then it's almost impossible.
Yeah.
We won't go back to the barter system. However, we could end up just
Russia will.
I think it's a real risk right now that the US won't be the major power, and China will, which is not good for anybody.
No.
So we're in a really delicate spot, and hopefully the people that are running the Fed know what they're doing, quite frankly.
Do they?
I don't know. I really don't. I don't know. But I know that Powell is about to be the first Fed chair that is going to have 2 recessions on his hands.
Sounds like we should get a new Fed chair.
Yeah, probably like a bigger one that's comfier.
Who decides that we're in a recession? Like who just comes out and says, "Hey, we're in a recession, guys"?
That's actually a great question. I don't know how they define a recession, but I think it's probably by.
Do we have like a Dr. Fauci for that?
No, it's set by a market, I'm sure. Let's see. It's just so a recession is just a slowdown in economic activity.
So we're in one.
No, not yet.
We're getting there.
I mean, things are slowing, but it's like what I was saying. That's how a recession is defined, I suppose. When you can't pull out money to spend that money, someone else who was supposed to receive that money or would receive that money doesn't have that income, so they don't spend that money. And then it goes on.
So should I go pull out all my money from the bank?
No. So that's where a depression comes in.
Should I be in all cash?
No, you probably should not be in all cash, especially when inflation is at 9%. What? What was that look for?
Nothing.
Ask the question if you want to ask it.
I didn't give you a look. I was giving Craig a look.
Oh, okay. I don't even, I think that, a depression is essentially when no one has money and then everyone decides I need to go get my money. And then you go to the bank and the bank realizes we don't have enough money to pay all the people that we owe money to. And so they can't,
So the banks
and then
crashed.
the banks default on their loans.
I don't think that'll ever happen.
It has happened.
Again. No. Again.
It will, I think.
I think everything's so electronic now that I don't think people worry about actually grabbing their cash.
Well, you've never been in a market where people are terrified that they're not going to have any money.
So they just pull out of the market?
Right. I mean, what did you just say? You've never been in one and you just asked me if you should go get all your money out and hold it in cash, right? Because physical money, you know that it's there. If it's
Right.
digital, I mean, it's still...
But I don't think people are that smart.
Peter, don't give yourself the props that you don't deserve, dude.
I'm just saying.
No, it's...
I don't think people are
It's
that
happened...
I think people rely too much on credit cards.
Oh, yeah. People rely way too much on credit cards. But that does not mean that when a recession hits, they're not like, oh, shit, I'm going to need cash because I'm not going to be able to buy anything with my credit cards.
Yeah, maybe.
Right? So there's so much that's just teetering on the line right here. Because
What changes this? New admin or what?
I really think that we have to go through a recession. Like if we want to reset the markets properly, if we want to continue being the reserve currency of the world. But it also gets to the tricky point where if we go into a recession, the US has the largest liabilities of anything on the planet. Because we have a reserve currency, we're able to take out crazy amounts of loans. Those loans come with a debt. So we have to pay monthly towards our debt. When we raise interest rates, that payment goes up. So if we're not making enough money as a country, because the country pays those loans through taxes. If we have less people employed, we have less taxes to be paid. If people are making less money, there's less taxes to be paid. So if we raise rates and we lower employment and we lower income, then the US receives less money in taxes and they have to pay more money to their debts. And the US is essentially someone who's working paycheck to paycheck right now.
How do we get out of that?
I'm not 100% sure, but I think that at some point we may have to file for bankruptcy as a country and say we will pay all of our debtors 25 cents on the dollar because people who are owed money would rather get some money than no money, right? So like in a recession, if you go to your bank, if you have a home mortgage and you can't afford to pay it, if you go to your bank, they'll likely extend your terms. They'll try and make it so that you can continue paying them because they want that money. But essentially the US needs to go to, and not US citizens who own like treasury bonds and stuff. We shouldn't go to the US and tell them, hey, like people in the US, hey, you're going to get 25 cents on the dollar. We should go to people like China and other people who own treasury bonds on US and be like, hey, we'll pay you 25 cents on the dollar because we can't afford to pay you the full dollar. And then pay those off and then get out of a lot of debt. However, I am 24 and have no idea how that shit works. So, this is just...
I feel like we need to invade a country.
That's stimulus. The markets want stimulus. If you have to build more shit, you build more shit. So it pushes markets. It's crazy timing that we go from the pandemic, where we printed 40% of all the money in circulation in the time period of the pandemic, to a place where there's a war-torn, like 2 war-torn countries right now, and we have the possibility of getting into war. I don't know. All of this shit is too fucking... It's a simulation, dude. I don't know what's going on.
It's life, bro.
It's
life.
It's a crazy world right now. It's definitely a crazy world. And we have, I mean, there's a really interesting thing going on in Ukraine. And I guess it's not even in Ukraine, but in terms of the war, we have people who are backing Ukraine to no end, right? Everyone believes that Russia is the aggressor, which they are, and they should be stopped, which they should. But it's to the point where we are supporting neo-Nazi Ukraine groups, right? We have people that are outright and are vocally Nazis who are fighting against the Russians, and there is support for them. And not only like is there support for them, there's counter support where places like Instagram and Facebook are allowing people to denounce Russians, not Russia, but like hate speech towards Russians is allowed for the time being. So like we're going through a really interesting social change where we don't, like, people are just changing their views based on what they believe is good for the moment. I mean, most people aren't, neo-Nazi supportists.
I'm not.
Right. Me neither. But if you believe that Russia is worse than these little neo-Nazi groups, then you're supporting these little neo-Nazi groups killing these Russian soldiers over saying that these neo-Nazi groups should not exist. Right?
Everyone should just be friends.
Yeah. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Like, how do you get to however old Putin is and don't realize, hey, just fucking chill? Like, just be a person
on a horse.
Like, we don't have to get into a fight. No one needs to see how big your wang is. No one cares.
Well, his is small because he's compensating.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, just be okay with who you are, dude. Like, just be confident in yourself.
He needs more space.
He needs a psychologist that can just console him and let him understand, like, teach him that it's okay.
Is he married?
I have no idea.
That's good.
So,
if not, I blame the wife.
Also something that I saw that's crazy.
He recently got a divorce.
That makes sense.
There's the trigger.
Also, something that I saw that was crazy, that I didn't know, and this will be closing notes because I've got to get going. But China has a gas tax. Not China. Why did I say China? California, which is pretty much China right now. But California has a gas tax. Did you know that? Do you know what the gas tax is?
Gas tax. No.
The gas tax is 51.1 cents per gallon.
On top of what, the 60-50 or 650 they're already paying?
So you have to pay 51.1 cents over what the gas price would be.
Dude, if you're in California right now, why are you driving?
Right.
Ride a bike.
Well, these are reasons why Tesla's orders have quadrupled in some regions of the country in a week's period.
It's funny because Tesla just whatever.
Tesla just what?
They're just like digging holes that are worse for global warming than gas is.
Not necessarily.
It's pretty.
So the difference.
It's definitely more equal than people think.
It's yes, but over time it becomes less.
Over a lot of time.
Right, which is what we're talking about.
Right, but I think it's funny when people, like global warming people, are like, yeah, I'm driving an engine, or I'm driving an electric engine. Yeah. It's like, well,
no, there are, and I'm not sure that you know for sure what you're talking about because you said they're digging holes that are worse for the environment.
They're digging so many holes.
But yeah, no, there's definitely an argument to be made there, but I think that, you know, for one, electric cars are just superior to gas cars because there's much less maintenance. They're more efficient and they're way easier to drive. And you don't have to pay gas prices. So
gas prices are stupid. Yeah. I'm going to start riding my bike.
Yeah, I might do that too. All righty. This has been episode 7 of You Should Fact Check This. And just remember that you should fact check all of this because we literally know little to nothing about what we're talking about, and that's why we're here.
Both have
that's
degrees.
Why we're here. We want you to question things.
We want some feedback.
Yeah, please leave a comment if you did listen. Please
like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe, and we will see you in episode 8 next week. Goodbye.